بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد وتزودوا فإن خير زاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب وقال الله تبارك وتعالى في مقام آخر حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة والسلام وقوموا لله قانتين صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم. My respected brother, elder, youth and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. From last couple of weeks, we are learning the fiqh of the salath, and the last week, before last week, we learned the etiquettes of the masajid, and the last week we learned the wuzu and whatever mistake we make while we are making our wuzu. Today, inshallah, we're going to start about the salat, and then we are going to continue. The one last thing, my respected brothers, which I forgot to mention, is about the cleanliness. Well, sometimes, my respected brothers, it's a very common mistake, and we see from our eyes when we go in the washroom. I'm not talking about the house, like in masajid or in public place, especially in masajid, because when we use the washroom, after that we make the wuzu. So the one thing, my respected brothers, and it doesn't come in our mind, when we go in the washroom with our socks, and when we don't take off the socks outside the washroom, and we don't know, and we use the slipper to go to the washroom, and we don't know who was using the before. Maybe it could be the small kid. And we all know, my respected brothers, that the small kids, sometimes they don't know about the cleanliness, or sometimes they don't care, and when they go to use the washroom, sometimes the traces of the urine it can come on the slipper. And when the slipper will be wet, and when we are going to go, and when we are going to use, and if we are not going to take off the socks outside the washroom, so it could be the urinate, our socks observe the urine, and it's more dirty, and it's become, our socks become impure, it's become nijasa. And we all know that there's the possibility of the cross contamination, because when we're gonna use a slipper with our socks and it's gonna be wet, so socks is gonna absorb the urine. And when we're gonna take off the socks for the wuzu, and when we're gonna put on again, and when we're gonna come upstairs, so the socks which already absorb the urine, so it can touch the musalla here. And it's because of our socks, when we are going to take the step and when we are going to put our feet, so that part is going to be impure because of the cross contamination, because the socks are wet. And sometimes, I respect brother, sometimes we don't know, or sometimes we are in a hurry, and we don't take off the socks. And because of this, we are the one the cause to make the musalla impure. So this is our job and our duty, to clean our mosque, our masjid, because this is the house of Allah Ta'ala. So this point I forgot to mention the last week. And also, my respected brother, the one thing which maybe I didn't mention, if we are traveling, or if we are in our school, or in college, or in your university or job place, and we don't have anything to wash ourselves after using the washroom, so the best way the ulama they recommend, if we have the small water bottle, so we should keep it with a and then when we go to use the washroom and just use the bottle to clean ourselves. Because my respected brothers, why we are learning here? Because Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned in Hadith Mubarakah, an-nazafatu min al-iman. The cleanliness is part of the iman. There are so many parts and there are so many branches of the Islam and the iman, and one of the branch and one of the part of Islam and iman is an-nazafa, to clean ourselves. And all our salat, all our ibadah, all our worship, all the recitation, all the part of the recitation of the Quran Kareem is depend on cleanliness. If we are not clean, if ourselves, our body, our clothes are not clean, then we cannot pray. We cannot touch the Quran Kareem. We cannot recite the Quran Kareem. As I mentioned, an-nazafatu min al-iman. And all our ibadah are dependent on the nazafa, on cleanliness. So my respected brothers, these are very small point which we are learning here, but it's all depend on the acceptance of our salat by Allah Ta'ala. If we are not cleaning ourselves properly, and if we are not taking care of the cleanliness in our life, in our daily life, so my respected brother, might be our worship are not accepted by Allah Ta'ala. Something wrong we are doing. So my respected brothers, about the cleanliness which we learn here, and then my respected brother, the next step come after the cleanliness, after the clean our body, and after the cleaning our clothes, the next step come about the salat. The one thing my respect, and one more point about the using the washroom. Nabi Kareem sallallahu, all the hadith, according to all the hadith about the nazafa, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he strongly encourages to sit down while we are using the washroom. We are not allowed to stand up and use the washroom. Because my respected brothers, in this case, all the traces is going to go around us. It could go our clothes, our sock, our shoes, or any part of the body, and that part become impure, become nijasa. And then my respected brothers, we are not allowed to pray with those clothes, with those socks, which already observe the urine. So my respected brothers, these are, as I mentioned, that these are very small points, but it's all our ibadah are depend on these points. If we are taking care of ourselves and the nazafa and the cleanliness, then my respected brother, we are good to pray, to worship of Allah Ta'ala, to touch the Quran, to recite the Quran Kareem. But my respected brothers, if we are not taking care of everything, then we, according to Sharia and under the light of the Quran and all the ayat of the Quran Kareem and the hadith of the Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and all the lesson which we are learning under the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if we are not taking care of all the points of the cleanliness and the nazafa, then our salat, our worship, our recitation of the Quran Kareem will not be accepted by Allah Ta'ala. Why? An-nazafatu min al-iman. And the one of the branch of the iman is an-nazafa, to clean ourselves, to clean our body. And then my respected brothers, the second thing, after the wuzu come about our salat. And then there are some conditions of the salat. One of the condition is to have, which the one is clean our body, clothes, and the place we are going to pray. The second, then my respected, because we already covered. And then my respected brothers, the one of the condition of the salat is the proper time. What does it mean? We are not allowed to pray before it is starting time. For example, I'm just giving you an example. If the Dhuhr Salat time, starting time is 12 o'clock. So we are not allowed to pray at 11:55, 11:56 because this question we get every day. That's why, my respected brother, we are covering these points. So at 11:55, 11:56, we are not allowed to pray Zuhr Salat. If somebody done the prayer, then he has to repeat after the timing of the Salat. And also, my respected brothers, the one of the condition of the Salat is to put on the clothes according to the Quran and Hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to cover in an easy way to cover our aura. And my respected brothers, the one point is about the dressing. As I mentioned before, when we go in our any friend gathering or family gathering, so we clean ourselves. We put on the clean clothes, and then we use the perfume, and then we go on easy way. In short, we beautify ourselves to go in a gathering. So, my respected brother, this is the haqq of Allah Ta'ala toward us when we stand up in front of Allah Ta'ala, and when we come in the masjid to pray. It's the haqq of Allah Ta'ala toward us to beautify ourselves before standing in front of Allah Ta'ala. To clean our clothes, to beautify ourselves when we are coming in a masjid. Use itar perfume, put on the clean clothes, Islamic clothes like jubba. Then if you are coming from the job, then it is a different thing. But and I mentioned before that we should keep one jubba in our car. If you are coming even from our job, just take the jubba and then put on and then come in the masjid. Because this is the etiquettes of the masajid, etiquettes of the salat, and one of the conditions of the salat. And I mentioned that we are going to stand in front of Allah Ta'ala. We are going to stand in front of our Creator, who created us, who gave us our sustenance, our rizq, who gave us the barakah, who sent His rahmah toward us. And this is the haqq of Allah Ta'ala toward us. When we stand in front of Allah Ta'ala, beautify ourselves, because we are standing in front of our Creator. When we go in front of the creation of Allah Ta'ala, as I mentioned, we beautify ourselves. So this is the first haqq. Then when we come in front of our Creator, not the creation, the Creator, we have to beautify ourselves. And also, my respected brother, inshallah, we are going to mention this point. We see, my respected brothers, when we go in the sajda, when we make the sajda, because we put on, most of the time, the brother, they put on the pant or shirt, t-shirt or whatever. So sometimes if we don't cover this, the back part of the body, so we can see when they go in the sajda, so everybody can see this part, because this part becomes naked and everybody can see. And this part, because this part is come under the aura for the man. And when we go in the sajda and when we don't cover it, and when we come in the masjid to pray, it's the haqq of Allah Ta'ala toward us to beautify ourselves before standing in front of Allah Ta'ala. To clean our clothes, to beautify ourselves when we are coming in a masjid. Use itar perfume, put on the clean clothes, Islamic clothes like jubba. Then if you are coming from the job, then it is a different thing. But and I mentioned before that we should keep one jubba in our car. If you are coming even from our job, just take the jubba and then put on and then come in the masjid. Because this is the etiquettes of the masajid, etiquettes of the salat. and one of the condition of the salat. And as I mentioned that we are going to stand in front of Allah Ta'ala. We are going to stand in front of our Creator, who created us, who gave us our sustenance, our rizq, who gave us the barakah, who sent His rahmah toward us. And this is the haqq of Allah Ta'ala toward us. When we stand in front of Allah Ta'ala, beautify ourselves, because we are standing in front of our Creator. When we go in front of the creation of Allah Ta'ala, as I mentioned, we beautify ourselves. So this is the first haqq. Then when we come in front of our Creator, not the creation, the Creator, we have to beautify ourselves. And also, my respected brother, inshallah, we are going to mention this point. We see, my respected brothers, when we go in the sajda, when we make the sajda, because we put on, most of the time, the brother, they put on the pant or shirt, t-shirt or whatever. So sometimes if we don't cover this, the back part of the body, so we can see when they go in the sajda, so everybody can see this part, because this part becomes naked and everybody can see. And this part, because this part is come under the aura for the man. And when we go in the sajda and when we don't cover it, when we put on t-shirt, well, most of the time in the t-shirt, it's when the shirt is pulled up, so this part becomes naked in the back and everybody can see the aura. And also, my respected brother, ulama, they mentioned that if our aura is not covered properly, we are not good to start our salat, because this is one of the conditions of the salat is to cover our aura properly and completely. And when we go in the sajda, it's become naked and we can see easily. And if somebody bring behind us, and if you're gonna see this part, so our salat will not be accepted, will not be valid. So the other person who is praying, if you're gonna see, it's also his fault, his salat will be accepted, but he will not get the complete reward. And who will be caused? Ourselves, because we are not covering our aura properly. We are not covering our body properly, as Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in Hadith al-Mubarakah, as Allah Ta'ala He mentioned in the Quran Kareem. And the ulama, they explain under the explanation of all of those ayat, what is the condition of the salat. So what of the condition of salat is? To cover ourselves properly, according to the Sharia, according to the ahkamat and order of Allah Ta'ala, according to sunnah and the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then one of the condition of the salat is the facing the qibla. And in this case, my respected brothers, sometimes if we are somewhere else and we don't know the qibla direction, so there are so many phone apps which can tell us the qibla, but more of the app, they don't tell us the right direction of the qibla correctly. But my respected brother, if you are somewhere else where all the other brother, if there's no masjid there, but there's the other Muslim brother, they are living there, so we should ask them the right direction of the qibla. If nobody is there, then the last step is, then we can use the app, and then we pray, because one of the condition of the salat is facing the qibla. And also, my respected brothers, one of the condition and the last condition of the salat is that when we stand in front of Allah Ta'ala, when we start our prayer, we have to know, because this Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned in Hadith al-Mubarakah, we have to know that what is the purpose of the salah, why we are praying, what are the benefit of the salat. If we don't know, then my respected brothers, we have to care about it, and we have to worry about it, and we have to take care of all the ahkamat of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And this is one of the conditions of the salat. Because my respected brothers, sometimes we don't know the rules of the salat, and we make so many mistakes in our salat, and because of that, our salat are not accepted by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. So that's why my respected brother, as I mentioned before, that it's a small point, but it's a very big point. Because all these points, all the salat are depending on these points. If we are covering, and if we are completing, and if we are following all these advice, these all points for the salat, then our salat will be accepted by Allah Ta'ala. So my respected brother, inshallah, the next week we're gonna cover the more about the salat, the faraid of the salat, and the mistake which we make in our salat every day, and we don't know that whatever we are doing is not proven from the any hadith, and it's not in the Quran. So inshallah, we're gonna cover every day, inshallah, and we're gonna finish this topic, the fiqh of the salat. May Allah Ta'ala give all of us tawfiq to follow the sunnah and the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to follow the order of Allah Ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Inshallah, we have time to pray.